Keep going, Trinity.
Hang on to it. Enjoy yourself.
Look for the quick line.
Come on.
Show him what he can do.
want to do more for the planet, more for the future, more supporting, rallying, having our voices heard more. But to do more, to be carbon neutral, sometimes we need to do less. Less printing, flying and fossil fuel driving, less denial and delays and doing nothing.
AIB is the first Irish bank to pledge to operate as carbon neutral by 2030. We pledge to do more.
Welcome here to College Park to this Energy All-Ireland League clash between Dublin University and Young Munster. Both these teams are coming into the game after good victories in the last round. Trinity beat Shannon 34-28 here in College Park, and Young Munster ended Clontarf's 20-game winning streak with a surprise 24-19 win. I'm Kieran Noble, and alongside me today is Jack Atkinson. How are you?
Very good, Kieran. Thanks for having me here. We're in for a very exciting clash today. Two massive packs on show here. Young Munster with a great win last weekend. Trinity, no game last weekend with the red and black ball. Players are fresh. Should be a great outing.
Now let's go through the teams. Trinity have made 3 changes from the team that played against Shannon. Thomas Connolly is back after playing for Leinster last week against Chile, and Ruan Byron is in for Aaron Coleman, and Ronan Quinn is also back in the side. Young Munster have made numerous changes, and it starts for props George Jacobs and Paulo Lalasiwao. So what do you think is going to happen here today, Jack?
I'm predicting quite a battle between the two packs. Tony Smith said earlier in the week, Young Munster boast the biggest tight 5 in the entire country, so Trinity will have to chop low if they have any chance of stopping their momentum. Trinity today in the new white jerseys, beautifully brought to us by AIB. Munster in their classic cookies, yellow and black.
Stuart Gafkin is our referee today from Ballynahinchore FC, referees in the URC and the Heineken Cup. It'll be Evan Cusack to get us underway here. Quite a strong wind, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, conditions will be testing. Both fullbacks will be tested under the high ball, and we'll see a lot of kicking game, I'd say, early on before, as the game breaks up later in the game, we'll see a bit more of that running rugby.
And we're underway here. Gavin Jones gets underneath that one. Trinity take it up. Louis O'Reilly, the captain. The reliable Aaron Egan. And here comes the danger man, Patrick Campbell. But he's dealt it well. Munster keeping the ball nice and tight. But Trinity have, it's an intercept. Louis McDonough. Oh, smash bang. Trinity trying to work their way into the 22 here. Egan. If that pass doesn't go to plan. And here come Young Munster. It's James Dillon now who has the ball for Trinity. Egan to Max Dunn. What a season he's had so far. The referee given a penalty advantage here. It'll be interesting to see if Trinity take it. And they did. What do you think of that opening couple of minutes?
Louis O'Reilly away here.
Well, we didn't really get to have a conversation there. Louis O'Reilly wasn't messing around. Great to see him on the pitch. Had to come off the last day with an injury, but obviously it wasn't too bad. Done again. Egan. The Young Munster defence standing strong so far. Harry Sheridan over the top to James Dillon. He steps, he jinks. Trinity on the front foot here. Connolly played for Leinster last week, of course, against Chile. Hogan out the back. In the air maybe, but Dillon says, I'm going to go anyway. He throws it back inside to Hogan, but he's put into touch. Very exciting start there from Trinity.
I think everyone on the ground will have to catch their breath after that start. End-to-end stuff there. 2 or 3 turnovers, a couple of knock-ons. Trinity started playing with the ball. Good shape was shown. Aaron Egan was calling the shots. Some great carries there from Max Dunn early on. So Harry Sheridan break the line, get the ball out to James Dillon. Last week's man of the match, showing a bit of skill there on the outside. Dillon put into touch, line out to Young Munster.
It'll be Dan Walsh to throw this one in. Got a very important try against Clontarf in the last round. He played in the championship over in England, but Trinity robbed that one. And it's the 8. Byron He storms through. And it goes out the back. Egan with a lovely pass. Finds Ronan Quinn. But he can't quite evade the tackler. Young Munster look like they've got in over that one, but not quite. Here's Dunn again. What can Trinity do here? Nicholson with the carry. They're always so dangerous from these type of positions. And they get a penalty straight in front of the post. What are they going to do here, do you reckon?
In a tight game like this, you'd have to think they'll go for the points. Interesting to see how far the ref will go out wide. Some great start there from Trinity again. Some good strong carries in the midfield. Turnover from line out time. The big number 8, the bruiser, back into the side. Ruan Byron with a phenomenal carry at Young Munster's out half. Be interesting now. They could go to the corner here.
Would we see that special maul going to work?
I think so. Mark Nicholson, lucky to have him today with Matthew Victory having to pull out off the bench. Young Connell Henchy onto the bench now for Trinity.
Mark Nicholson got a maul try the last day, if you remember, against Shannon. He's on the other side of the pitch though.
Yep, Trinity feel they can get an early strike here, really put pressure on Young Munster. This will be a real test of their pack.
But Young Munster have a very good set piece. Of course, they beat Clontarf in the last round, and Clontarf have notoriously got the best set piece in the league. But Sheridan takes it down, and it does go to the maul. Sheridan, the Ulster man. It's an advantage to Trinity here. Egan with a little smart kick, and Dylan has it, and he goes in the corner. What a start from Trinity.
Oh, that is absolutely exquisite from Aaron Egan. He was calling it early. We heard him there calling James Dillon's name. Pinpoint accuracy with the kick. Dillon with an easiest finish of the season.
I like to call Aaron Egan the general because he's everything good about that Trinity attack. He bosses them around, he tells them what to do, and he gets everything going for them.
Oh, he's absolutely phenomenal. Every week in training, it's the same. Demands standards from everyone around him. Calls the shots all day long. Mark Nicholson, I must point out, with a great strong carry there, really built the momentum that allowed that crossfield kick to be executed.
Aaron Egan on 90 points so far for the season. Top point scorer by quite a distance, actually. And what a kick. Aaron Egan with a great kick to start off his day. Massive 7 points there.
Great start for Trinity there. Cracking kick again from Egan. He looks like he's got the ball on the string at the moment with his right boot.
Evan Cusack going to get us restarted here. Young Munster with a penalty straight out in front here.
Real coach killer, that one. Straight off the kick-off after securing 7 points. Trinity give away a really cheap penalty and quite a simple 3 points, if we're being honest.
Cusack just over the 30-point mark this season so far. Him and Connor Hayes, have been sharing the kicking so far this season. Shannon lead 14-0 against UCD, as you can see on the bottom of our screen. And Cusack slots that one over and it's 7-3, but a soft 3 points to give away from Trinity, don't you think?
Yeah, that'll really hurt the confidence of the side. Starting off so well, keeping most of the ball, and getting those 7 points, that really is a killer. Now Trinity have to strike next.
It's interesting to see Shannon 14-0 up. Obviously, they ran Trinity pretty close at the end here 2 weeks ago, and they seem to be a team that's improving with every game. And young Munster send that one back. And they get good mileage out of it.
Oh, that's a cracking exit there from the winger.
This is a really competitive game. You've got young Munster who's sitting 5th place on 15 points. Then you've got Trinity who are on 26, I think, in second. If young Munster win this, they can really push on and, try and make those top 4 places. But for Trinity, with Terranure and Clontarf happening today, who knows what will happen there? And maybe an opportunity will open for Trinity to go a bit ahead of Clontarf or maybe even top of the table.
Yeah, very exciting times for Trinity at the moment. Last week's result for young Munster was huge. There was a great buzz around after the Shannon win as well. Trinity really, really think this is an important key game even in the AIL season.
And a brilliant maul defence there from young Munster. Exactly that set piece that we were talking about at the very start. Young Munster are very well drilled defensively and offensively in the set piece.
And they fronted up phenomenally there. Looking up close at these guys, that front row absolutely massive. 2 6'5" plus 6'6" plus second rows. They really are tough to get around. Trinity with another mistake, another coach killer for Tony Smith.
Donica O'Callaghan to put this one in. There's been many a Donica O'Callaghan in Munster rugby over the years.
Usually of the taller variety, I must say.
There must be a Donica in every position in Munster, I'd say. Obviously, young Munster have some real danger men in that back line. You've got Pat Campbell, who's really came on the scene, in the last year with Munster. He scored that try in his debut against Wasps. He's with Ireland under-20s when they won the Grand Slam. And they've got other guys, Connor Phillips too, a great back line. And a good tackle from James Dillon here. The young Munster just about keep it in, but actually it's in touch.
Great defence from James Dillon there. Patrick Campbell trying to get on the outside, good scrum manoeuvre. The 2 danger men out here, Campbell and Phillips trying to get on the ball. Dillon wasn't having it. Ripped the jersey in the process by the looks of it and put him into touch.
Yeah, Connor Phillips was the 7th player. Then you've got Connor Hayes, somebody Justin Middleton likes to call the Punisher. If you're looking at the bottom of your screen there, you can see Shannon are 21-5 up now against UCD. I wonder what's happening in Clontarf today. That big one, Terranure and Clontarf. We'll keep you posted if we get a score update. Just a break in play here. Teams can catch their breath. And Lansdowne are 7-0 up against Garryowen. Lansdowne obviously haven't had the season that they would have been hoping for. 5 defeats in their 6 opening games, but they've got a block now where they can win their next 3 games with matches against Garryowen, Shannon and UCD. That line out will go again. Mark Nicholson. CCM man, Clossical Vonton, throws it in to Dunn, the younger brother of Jack. And Trinity try and edge some more yards. That's a solid defence there from young Munster, taking no prisoners. Trinity might look to exit here. O'Reilly goes for the box kick. And it's contested in the air, but young Munster have. Cusack. Harry Fleming there trying to test the line. Dan Walsh, the hooker. He's having a great season so far for his team. The referee's just making sure the Trinity line stays back. Cusack. Another solid defensive set from Trinity here. And Munster will try again. They get out to Falloon. Munster trying everything they can here to try and break down this Trinity defence. Getting width on the ball. Cusack goes to the boot. Connor Phillips chases it. But James Dillon takes care of it. And he's running quite laterally, but he's eventually caught in the tackle. And it'll be interesting to see if young Munster can pin them in here. McCarthy, the beast. Young Munster are in over that though.
Big turnover there from the captain, Alan Kennedy. James Dillon did well off that kick from Cusack. Ran towards the support, beat a couple of defenders, showing good pace against Connor Phillips, who we know is one of the fastest men in the AIL himself. Phenomenal turnover there from the number 6.
He was trying his best, wasn't he, Dillon, really? He was trying to get him out of trouble, but he kind of just ran out of room in the end. But you can see both these teams are very physical, very well defensively set up. Like, it makes for a really entertaining game, and maybe a low-scoring game where chances are few and far between.
100%. A game for the purists, you might say. The first proper defensive set there for Trinity, and they fronted up well. Louis McDonough out wide, showing some good chopping abilities. Cusack ended up having to go for the boot, as there was nothing really much else on for young Munster. Referee just having a word with the Trinity skipper now. Interesting to see what the call is.
Louis O'Reilly is the Trinity skipper. It's 0-0 apparently in the Tarn York Clontarf game. O'Callaghan to put this one in. Do young Munster have a little move planned off this? But it's going to be reset. I'm not really a fan of how long it takes sometimes for scrums, you know, to get going in games, and I'm always a bit worried that we don't get into one of those games where it could take, you know, a couple of minutes to set one scrum.
Definitely. You talk to any rugby fan who isn't a member of the front row union, and they'll tell you scrums are possibly the worst part of the game. Very slow. Sometimes it takes 3-4 resets. So it's something that rugby does have to look at in terms of being a brand that can be sold around the world. More popularity, more money coming in, as we see clubs in the Premiership and the like going into administration, WASPs and the like, big clubs like this. So there is issues surrounding rugby that needs to be addressed, and the scrum could be an area that we could look at.
You should get your own column in the Independent,
Just passionate for the game.
And here come the Cookies, they're number 8 Falloon. Cookies testing the line. Kennedy, the captain, is next up. And Munster keeping it nice and tight here. They edge a bit closer, but they're not quite there yet. And they go again. Trinity doing well in defence though here. Looks like Paddy McCarthy's trying to get in at that one. But they had an advantage. Young Munster being very patient there on the ball, not rushing it, you know. Just going and trusting their forwards, edging a little bit closer every time. And already Trinity conceding a few early uncharacteristic penalties.
Yep, discipline proving an issue here in this first 15 minutes for Trinity. A yellow card wouldn't be far. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee gives a team warning now. Great tackle off the back of that scrum there from Anthony Ryan, the blindside flanker for Trinity. Good defensive set there. If Young Munster had the ability to go wide there off that advantage, it could have been try time in the corner for Phillips. Another scrum down here for Young Munster.
McCarthy looks like a really exciting player as well. 4 caps for Ireland under 20s in the summer.
He's a phenomenal player, a phenomenal athlete as well. Really brings it in training, brings that intensity, that aggression, lifts the men around him for such a young boy.
Munster get the free kick here. Be interesting to see what they decide. It's a strong wind here in College Park, but at least it's not raining. The referee just having a little word. Thomas Connolly by the looks of things. Massive moment for Thomas last week, wasn't it? You know, coming off the bench to play for Leinster. It must have been amazing for him.
Huge day for Trinity in general, 100% for Tom. It was great to get his first cap for Leinster as well, with that Colm Hogan, the fullback. Along with that as well, we had Rob Russell, Liam Turner, Lee Barron all playing, so a great day, as well as Joe McCarthy coming off the bench for Ireland, making his debut as well. A great weekend for the club all around.
I reckon there'll be 2 McCarthys playing for Ireland soon enough. Paddy the way he's going. And it's in. And it's a penalty at the scrum for Young Munster. How many more penalties do you think the referee will give them before he goes to the pub?
I'd have to say after that last warning we could be on final warning here now. McCarthy getting called for putting the scrum down there. Young Munster really piling the pressure on that massive front 5 we talked about. This is their go-to, this is their game plan, this is where they're strong. They'll keep at it here.
Big defence needed for Trinity and patience probably needed for Young Munster. Callahan. Gives it. What a tackle by Gavin Jones around the ankles. Walsh. You'd wonder how many times Young Munster are going to go in tight. When are they going to let it out wide and let some of their danger men on the ball? Another advantage. Now they might let it out wide. That's a smart little kick, but Dylan takes care of it. Dylan very assured under that high ball, isn't he?
Yeah, great take there. Looking years beyond his with that take. Very calm, very collected. Young Munster keeping the phases going, keeping it tight. Very different to what Shannon were able to do in large parts of the game last week. They weren't able to go to that 6-7 phase, really test the Trinity side. Young Munster doing the opposite, keeping it tight, going in, testing those Trinity fringes. Referee may be forced to give a card here now with all the penalties.
Something Tony Smith won't be happy about. It'll be something he'll probably reference in his half-team chat.
Riley now having a word with his team, specifically the pack. I think they've been pinged a couple of times. That pillar, that first defender outside the ruck being offside a couple of times off these phase plays.
Discipline is key, of course.
Yep, I don't think a lot of spectators don't even realise how important discipline is. There was an interesting graphic I saw the other week in terms of the relation between world rankings and the amount of cards received by certain teams this year. Ireland coming in at the lowest, as well as France with 1 and 2 cards between them, being the first and second teams in the world.
Look at you with the juicy stats. O'Callaghan. It's probably our third or fourth scrum in this competition. And they get it rolling. You'd wonder, is it time?
And Munster certainly looking the ascendancy here. It's going to take a massive effort from Connolly and McCarthy to hold them off.
Not something we're used to seeing either though this season. In the front five, they're quite, they've probably got one of the best front fives in the league. It became really tough and really hard to stop. So problems at scrum time isn't something we're used to.
Working hard though, the J1s, after last night's big win against Barnhall down in the Blackrock Astro. Every week, every Thursday specifically, there'll be a lot of scrums between the two sides, great pressure being put on, great practice for both sides, but now at game time, this is where it matters.
Could a penalty try be in the equation at some point either? Munster go again, but this time the young Munster fans protested that call.
I would have to disagree with the fans there, as impartial as I am. Trinity look to be in the ascendancy on that one there. The referee calls it for turning on its axis. Trinity do look to have all the energy there. Louis McDonough and some of the other backs, they may not know what's going on in the scrums, but when they see their team going forward, they like to head in, give a couple of claps.
Smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Scrums has been the takeaway from the opening quarter. Here they come. Cusack. Phillips tries to squeeze his way in there. Munster trying to get that ball over the line. Max Dunn strong in defence there, but they spin around and young Munster are in for the score, and it's Dan Walsh again.
Had a very strong start to the game, the hooker. Great spin move there off that short ball from the scrum half, and a good try, and an earned try as well. Young Munster have been down here putting pressure on Trinity for the last 10 minutes or so they really did deserve to come away with that 5-pointer.
Oh, they're definitely full value for it anyway. Period where Trinity were really under the cosh and really under pressure.
Felt if Trinity came away from that without conceding a point, that would have been a big energiser, a big booster for the rest of the game. So it was big that young Munster got that score in the end for themselves, for their confidence going into the rest of this game.
Cusack will attempt to put 3 points between the sides. That was Dan Walsh's third try of the season. And it's 10-7 here to young Munster.
Come on, Trinity. Big chase now, Trinity, yeah? Lead it, Trinity.
Egan, get us back underway. Munster take that one in. Kennedy. Trinity would like to keep them here if they could. But young Munster will be going for that exit, no doubt. And they do through O'Callaghan. The young Munster exits have been very good so far.
Any team would pride themselves in their exits off kickoff. It's a really important part of the game. You're looking to get as close to halfway as possible. And O'Callaghan put boot to ball, kept it low, got them right up to Trinity's halfway there.
O'Callaghan actually kicked the vital 50-22 in the last game against Clontarf that helped Dan Walsh score that important try that put them ahead against Clontarf.
No, he's been very sharp again today here so far. A real live wire around the rucks.
Nicholson. Let's throw this one in. But that one doesn't go how he would have liked. And here comes young Munster. The 13 now. Oh, and was that a dangerous tackle? The referee seems okay with it. Kennedy. Cusack. Taking it to the line. But Trinity get a penalty there. Awesome.
Crossing there between the two big men, the two props for young Munster. They look to be building well there. Possibly a forward pass and that offload there to Phillips. Trinity get an easy exit out now, looking for a line out.
Fair tackle, do you think?
Very 50-50 for me. The linesman and referee both had great views and neither of them called it, so I trust their judgment over mine.
Arnie with a decent touch finder there. My old pal Sparky to throw this one in. Paddy McCarthy coming over to give him the instructions. Super physical team, young Munster. But again, the line out just isn't firing at the minute. Young Munster putting out the back. Cusack puts boot the ball. That one's a bouncing. Trinity bring it up to halfway. Sheridan. Now it's Sheridan. Egan to McCarthy. But look at him, he's still going. The beast. Anthony Ryan this time. Nicholson, Trinity have the advantage. Now they decide to play a little bit. Egan looks to get the offload off, but he can't quite get it away. O'Reilly with the little kick, but I think he knew he had the advantage, so.
Yeah, nice to see Trinity getting a bit of ball in hand there. Paddy McCarthy, what a carry. To bump off a big man like Lolosio like that, give him a stinger. He's still down at the moment. That was phenomenal from the young man. Colin Hogan as well, a special mention. He brings such skill to that fullback row. That little touch there with the ball staying low, not being able to catch it and gather it cleanly, that is just outrageous skill.
One of the hardest jobs for a commentator is name pronunciations, and Paulo Lolosio was something I was practicing all morning. And we've just got news in that Tarf are 7-0 up. Could they be the first team to beat Terranure this season? Of course, Clontarf were the last team to beat Terranure, and I think they're the only team to beat Terranure in 2022 in the league. And then Cork Con are 10-0 up against Ballynahinch. Cork Con, to be fair to them, have been doing really well since that round 2 defeat against Terranure College. I think they've went on a bit of a winning run, winning their last 4 games and sitting in 4th place. You can never ride off the Cork Con men.
A poor start to the season for the Munster side. They really have been coming to their own. I think they've kind of gone back to their ways of physicality, dominating the other side. And it's really starting to work for them.
They'll be here in College Park in 2 weeks' time. And this is key territory. They have to convert this.
Big moments here in the first half. Trinity haven't had much ball. They've had to soak up a lot of pressure, and to only be 3 points down, they'll take that at the moment to look to score off the ball here.
Nicholson has to get this line out right. That's the most important thing. And he does through Sheridan. And Nicholson has it at the back. They try and get it rolling, but young ones are dealing with it relatively well. McCarthy. Sheridan. Very similar to young Munster about 10 minutes ago. Using their forwards to try and find their way to the line. Sheridan again, but he's hit hard by Rigney, I think. Hughie O'Reilly assessing his options here. Be Nicholson next. Nicholson it is. Munster doing well, in fairness. It's an advantage. McCarthy tries to sneak his way over there. But it's the Ulster man, Sheridan, who gets over for the score. He arguably put in a player of the match performance against Shannon the last day, and he gets a try today.
100%. He was my man of the match in that Shannon game. Everywhere on the park, I'd say the carries were through 20, 25 plus at least. There we see it again. Biggest part of his game, the carry in those tight areas. Really strong, really low for such a tall man. Gets that reach, gets an advantage, gets over for the score. Big score for Trinity. That. I was going to comment on young Munster's defence. It was so physical, getting up 5, 6, 7, 8 phases in a row, putting Trinity's big ball carriers back, but they couldn't stop Harry Sheridan.
Trinity have to make the most of them while they have them, because I think that Ulster call-up is on the horizon. 7-all now in the game, Castle Avenue. Egan lines this one up. Couldn't quite get that one over Egan, so it's 12-10 here to Trinity. But great response for Trinity, exactly what Tony Smith would have wanted. 21-17 in the Shannon game. UCD making a bit of a comeback. That was the early kick-off today.
Again, a mistake from Trinity off the kick-off. This has been a real issue in the last couple of games for them, not being able to secure a ball after scoring points. Really is an issue that the coaching staff and players need to look at closely.
That opening 3 points that they gave away was another simple one from the kick-off, and there they couldn't quite tidy it up. And they weren't under any great pressure, to be fair.
Very unlike McCormack, usually safe his hands. Smith will always bring up a trainee. He could play in the centres, out in the wing if he wanted to. He's that kind of athlete, but an uncharacteristic drop from him.
Former Clongowes Wood man made it to the 2020 Schools Cup final, McCormack. Unfortunately, it was called off because of COVID. I always feel sorry for referees, you know, the scrum calls, because I wonder, are they 100% convinced in the decisions they're making, or did even they get a bit confused, like the people that are watching.
I think so. It really is a dark art, and for a referee, most of which do not play in the front row, talking to guys who are, what would be considered experts in the front row. It is tough to referee, but somebody's got to do it.
God, it's not me, and I'm glad I'm sitting here. What can Munster do here? Connor Phillips might come in hard on the line, but no, it's Falloon. Louis O'Reilly doing really well to get in amongst it there. Foley. Cusack. Cusack again. Upton now. Real back and forth game here so far. Evan O'Connor with the carry that time. Now Rigney. Max Dunn dealt with it well. O'Connor. And young Munster try to put it out the back now. Get some width on it and a bit of speed. The big man, Lolasiwo, from Brisbane. Cusack. Trinity trying to get in over that one. McCormack trying his best. And a good counter up there, but young Munster still have Dan Walsh. Makes McCormack sit down with that one. Kennedy. Trinity's defence doing really well here so far. O'Callaghan trying to decide what to do. Maybe caught in two minds there. Penalty straight in front for young Munster, but Max Dunn he's doing a lot, isn't he?
Oh, the entire patch from both sides there. There was some absolutely massive collisions going in there. Physicality is the word of the day. It really has been visible. We're hearing it here in the commentary box. Some of these hits. Dan Walsh on McCormack there. Ruan Byron, I'd say the tackle count must be up towards 12, 15 at the moment there. He's almost involved in every second tackle. And got unlucky there at the end. Got stuck, trapped underneath the player. Couldn't roll away in time. Penalty in front of the sticks.
I'd say you're happy to have Ruan Byron back. He was missing for a couple of games, the Belvedere College man.
He's a big addition. Man of the match in my first game on commentary against UCD. He's such a big addition, such a big character around the squad as well. Really lifts the confidence of the players around him.
We'd just like to thank our sponsors, AIB, BF Sports Analysis, for bringing us the stream. This kick will put young Munster back in the lead. That's the half-time whistle. 13-12 here to young Munster. And a lot for Trinity to do in the second half.
A lot for both teams, yeah. I think both teams will go into half-time feeling they are the ones in the ascendancy. So we should be in for a cracking second half now in College Park.
We want to do more for the planet, more for the future, more supporting, rallying, having our voices heard more. But to do more, to be carbon neutral, sometimes we need to do less. Less printing, flying and fossil fuel driving, less denial and delays and doing nothing.
AIB is the first Irish bank to pledge to operate as carbon neutral by 2030. We pledge to do more.
Good, Jack.
And we're back. Egan will get us back underway here. 13-12 to Young Munster here in College Park. A very competitive first half. Sent long. Phillips got hit hard. Hopefully he's okay. Young Munster get quite a soft penalty really at the start of the game.
Hard straight away to start the half. Number 7, Diarmuid McCormack, very influential player. That won't be good for Trinity now. Really big 10 minutes this now for Young Munster, especially they need to get the next score.
It's 3 penalties off the restarts today, hasn't it?
Big area of concern for Trinity. First half takeaways, I think Trinity looked very strong with the ball in hand, running the shape well, finding gaps. It's just about that continuity. Their big issue at the moment has been discipline, and we see it now coming into fruition with the yellow card from McCormick. In Munster, on the other hand, I feel they'll be the happier of the two sides. They're ahead by a point. They're now a man up as well. They've looked stronger in the scrum and that set piece in general. Big ball carriers are making that impact. So for them, it's more of the same. Keep it tight, keep putting pressure on Trinity and get the next score.
Munster definitely look very confident at the minute, and that Clontarf win has obviously done them a whole lot of good. Dan Walsh scored 3 tries this season and 1 earlier on.
He'll have his toughest job of the season now, throwing a line out right in front of the bear pit.
Bear pit has its effect, and Trinity have. O'Reilly. Egan. Harry Sheridan. O'Reilly. Colin Hogan. That pass kind of flew out of his hands. Maybe taken a bit by the wind. It's all good. McCarthy shrugs off the defender. Sheridan again. Egan. Oh, Egan threw the loose pass. But Ronan Quinn takes care of the punisher, Conor Hayes. That could have been awful for Trinity there. Fast thinking of Ronan Quinn. Colin Hogan. Trinity get a much needed penalty. Dylan wanted to go, but they'll have time to settle and just get their breath back. But it was almost on there for Conor Hayes to run in a try there, and Ronan Quinn, to be fair to him, was very alert and he dealt with it.
Yep, started off with good phase play there again from Trinity. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is the motto. Sheridan takes it up, then McCarthy takes it up, then they go out to the backs, and Egan, with possibly one of his first mistakes of the season, you might say, how well he's been playing, throwing that intercept to Hayes. Quinn with the quick thinking took him down. Munster went out wide again through the phases. Phenomenal link-up play out wide there from Dylan to Hogan, back to Dylan. Won the penalty, looked to go quick, but ran into the referee.
Aaron Muir gone 17-7 up against Clontarf. Done. Oh, and Gavin Jones goes through the gap. Did a little chip chase. Jones, but the bounce just takes the ball away from him. But Trinity still have. And Gavin Jones regathers it, and Trinity are in for the score, and they retake the lead. But what a bit of individual brilliance there from Gavin Jones.
You betcha. Gavin Jones, what a break. That trademark line of his, hitting that soft shoulder. Really good chip and chase as well, showing great awareness of the game around him. The bounce wasn't kind to him. O'Reilly picked it up, found his centre again on a great support line, and nobody was stopping Jones from that close. The winner of the raffle as well last week at the Red and Black with a nice bed and breakfast for himself at the Radisson. It's been a great week all round for Gavin Jones.
Joyful Jones.
Specialist mention as well, where we have a break in play for our fellow commentator Justin Middleton, who today has brought a young baby into the world. Boy or girl, do we know?
Girl.
A young baby girl. Leave your name suggestions in the comments below, please.
The game. He's an excellent player.
He'll be coming up against his old school's captain, Lewin McDonough, in the centre if they do meet each other later in the day.
They got to the semi-final that year, I believe, and they ended up losing to Clongowes 2020. Louis O'Reilly with the put in. And young Munster with a really strong scrum, but Trinity just about get out in time. Louis O'Reilly puts it into touch.
Trinity scrum under big pressure there. They did well. Byron at the back, getting the ball away to his skipper. Not the best touch found, but the ball is out, and that's the main thing at the moment. Cormac back on for Trinity, and for Mullen as well in the red scrum cap coming on for young Paddy McCarthy, who's put in a really big shift today, it must be said.
He always does, McCarthy. It's Tom Connolly. Bart Vermeulen, Belgian international. And a lovely steal at the line out for Trinity there. And the roar from the bear pit. Vermeulen gets in on the action straight away. Fleming tries to get in over that one, but illegally so. A great opportunity for Trinity to get a nice field position.
What steal at the line? I think Max Dunn, the flowing locks, rose up in the air higher than the Munster second rows, stole the ball. Good face play there from Trinity Nicholson, a little bit of footwork. Cusack went off his feet there.
I wish I had that much hair.
Pressure on, Rick! Pressure on, Rick!
predicted early in the day, height of fairness, nothing between the two sides, only the 4 points. Really could go either way as we approach the halfway point in the second half.
It's very tough conditions for line-out throwers today. The most important thing for Nicholson is probably just to get it in there. Dunn couldn't quite grasp that one, but McCarthy tidies it up. Pick it up again.
Wind as well as a really tightly contested battle in the air. Every line out time, whoever's on defence throwing up at least one jumper, if not two there. Trinity, I think, will be looking to get this ball in and out really quickly. We'll see what kind of impact Vermeulen brings to the scrum now.
Trinity will want to get it out quickly, but young Munster will want to stay in there and they'll want to get a big shove on. Shannon, 36-24 winners over UCD. As we expected, Trinity get it out of there nice and quick. Trinity get the penalty and O'Reilly's not waiting around. The young Munster player wasn't 10, maybe a card. A very smart play there from O'Reilly.
Showing his experience. Last week when O'Reilly went off injured, there was a real worry around the camp whether he'd be available for the next week. Luckily the injury wasn't too bad. He's probably the most pivotal player, I would go as far to say, on the pitch, being the captain, being that key role at scrum half. He's brought Trinity and his kicker Aaron Egan a chance at 3 points here.
That decision kind of shows us how tight this game actually is. Aaron Egan going for the post. They of course though have Cormac King on the bench, very talented scrum half. And then yourself beside me, Jack.
Next in line, hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Do you think that's a call coming in from the sideline? Take the points. Fortunately, it doesn't go over. It's still only a 4-point game. That score would have pushed it out to a converted try, and every point counts in these kind of tight encounters.
Yeah, my gut instinct is telling me this game is going to come down to penalty kicks. Those 3 points, whichever team can get closer, come out of the 22 with points, will be the winner today.
Zach sends that one nice and long. Here comes McCormack. Young ones are forced to knock on, and they have. Sheridan wraps up the little scrum half.
An error there from Sheridan at the base of the ruck. Louis O'Reilly, the captain behind him, trying to get the ball away quickly. Sheridan took it into his own hands. Young Munster forced to knock on, but Sheridan made up for it there by, without use of a better word, just picking up the scrum half, holding him up, causing that issue. Diarmaid McCormack with the turnover, but scrum down, no advantage there for Young Munster.
There has been quite a few errors, like unforced errors in this game. Do you think it's just down to the conditions, or maybe how tight the game is, and the pressure on both teams? What would you say?
Conditions for sure, causing issues. Not much hint of rain at the moment, but dark clouds are rolling in all around us here. I would say pressure is the big teller here. Both teams are well aware of how big this game is and what sort of impact it has going into 2 more massive weeks next week, especially for Trinity, with those games against Trinity and Cork Con.
Young Munster have Shannon. Young Munster have Shannon and Taryn York coming up. It's 24-14 to Taryn York. Clontarf went on a 20-game winning streak, but now it looks like they might lose 2 games in a row. Who would have thought that? Young Munster lads aren't happy with that. Especially Pa Campbell and Conor Hayes throwing their arms up in the air.
Any good fullback and winger always complaining at the referee's decision at scrum time.
You see Ronaldo do that a fair bit at the World Cup.
Big moments here in the game now. Young Munster have Gibbons and Goggins on. First and second receiver here on the open side. You know they'll be able to punch holes if they get hands on ball.
The referee has given a free kick. I wouldn't like to be the scrum coach looking back at all these. The post-match report.
You have a heavy week's work ahead of him.
Young Munster's coach Gerard Prendergast. It's the brother of Mike Prendergast, the Munster attack coach. And some people have tipped him maybe to take the Connacht job when it becomes available at the end of the season. And it's a big scrum from Young Munster and a big momentum shifter.
Big moments there. Young Munster resorting to what they know best, scrumming their opposition off the ball. Really impressive, great strength shown there from the pack. They'll go to the corner now and trust that maul again. Looking for that decisive score that takes them ahead of Trinity in this game.
There was a feeling that was coming though. Young Munster have had a little bit of an edge at the scrum time all day.
Yeah, big pressure coming, not just from the front row, but the sideline as well. Coaches giving out, players in the back line giving out. It really was on the referee there. If there was any sort of forward momentum from Young Munster, the penalty was always going to be given.
The ever-involved Dan Walsh throws it in, and it's crooked throw. Not like Dan Walsh to make a mistake like that.
That is massive, I can't state that enough. That really was a big moment there for Young Munster. If they get that more driving, it'll be tough to stop. Trinity pack, a couple of players looking tired, hands on hips. A crooked throw from one of the standout players of the game so far, Dan Walsh.
Real nip and tuck now. A lot of the time when we come here to College Park, we see lots of tries, the ball thrown around, Trinity playing their usual student style, but it hasn't been like that today. It's been real rough and tumble. And
no, I think we always knew that coming into this game. There wasn't going to be much fun. And there we have big penalty there for Trinity. Bart Vermeulen and Paddy McCarthy doing their job, pulling down in the scrum, the call from the referee.
Just like that, the tables have turned.
Substitution there for Trinity as well. Young Dan Barron comes on for Anthony Ryan. He had a big impact.
It's Aaron Coleman, who started the last day. Fantastic player to bring on. Played for Leinster A, of course. Belvedere College. Man.
Himself and Ruan Byron making a 7-8 partnership from Old Belvedere College. They really work well together, the two of them. Ruan Byron out last week, so Coleman came in to start. Did a great job. Unlucky to be dropped, but he's now looking to make an impact with about 20 minutes to go.
That line out. It's good. And here come Trinity. Egan kicks it through, and Roland Quinn's chasing it. Football style, he kicked it, and we got it. Try for Roland Quinn. What a try! The World Cup would be proud of that one.
Wowee, absolutely stunning from Trinity there. Just as we called it here, Aaron Coleman, immediate impact straight off the carry, off the line out. Found his Belvedere fellow man.
And here comes
big carry, quick ball. Louis O'Reilly got the ball to his out half, Aaron Egan, and he put the deftest of touches in over the 22. Quinn still had a lot of work to do. The former Aston Villa football player. Last time he played for Villa, he was marking none other than Phil Foden at the World Cup, and he showed all his football skills there to go over for Trinity.
Stephen Kenny, if you're watching, give that man a call. Egan adds the extras.
How's he go?
And it's an 11-point game now.
That was, I'm still lost for words. That's one of the moves of the season there from Trinity. Really looking like a championship side there. They haven't had much time to strike. They haven't had much ball in this half. But when they got it, they put young Munster to the sword there.
My heart's racing after that try. Game management is going to be the key now for Trinity. Try and see this one out. McCarthy. Oh, lovely little offload. McDonough. Floyd over the top there. Riley puts it up in the air. Connor Hayes now hasn't really had many opportunities today to show what he's about. Change at scrum half too. Pat Campbell trying his best to make the break there. Vital moment in the game, you feel. Jack Lyons has come onto the field for young Munster at scrum half. Trinity defence nice and solid so far. Cusack throws the little switch pass inside, but he can't unlock the Trinity defence. Young Munster with the penalty. An interesting stat that I read during the week, young Munster have only actually beaten Trinity 3 times since they got re-promoted to 1A out of 10 contests. So Trinity have definitely had their number in recent times.
Very, very physical defensive set that from Trinity. Both from 5, putting in those big shots. And looks like McCarthy is off here, possibly a yellow card there that we didn't see. Cynical play at the edge of the ruck, grabbing the scrum half's arm as he tried to pass in an offside position.
The last 15 minutes have been a dangerous period for Trinity. In the last 2 games, they let Clontarf back into the game in round 5. Clontarf's nicked the victory in that one, and Shannon got 2 late tries in the last game, so they won't want a repeat of that.
The issue for young Munster at the moment is a bit of panic, a bit of complaining between the players. If one player makes a decision against the shape or their structure, a lot of players are hands in the air, giving out. If they are to get back into the lead here or come back into this game in general, they're going to need to come together, show some cohesion, show some team spirit now. And big moments now for both sides these next 15.
Fionn Gibbons is on the park now as well.
Confirmation of that yellow card for Paddy McCarthy. Trinity back down to 14 again. Young Munster with a line out on the 5.
That'll be a quarter of the game without your full complement, which is a long time when you think about it. What can young Munster do here? Rigney takes it down. They go to the maul. And it's getting ever closer. They're on the doorstep. And they're over. It's a penalty try.
Automatic 7 points there for young Munster. There was no stopping that. It'll be interesting to see if the referee goes to his pocket again here, brings Trinity down to 13. Memories of Clontarf a few weeks ago starting to creep in for some of the players now.
And you talked about young Munster coming together and trusting each other, but is it time now for Trinity to rely on one another and just calm heads, and some of the leaders in the team, maybe the likes of Colin Hogan, just say, lads, calm down, we've got this.
Experience really needs to
It's getting ever closer.
13 men on the park, 4 points up. Not long left to go, probably 10 minutes, so they'll be playing most of the game with a man down at least. The older fellas are going to have to step up now. Hogan, Quinn, Egan, O'Reilly, all these guys, they're really going to have to step up, lead the men around the park. Young Conal Henchy now on as well, a late addition to the Trinity side, with Matthew Victory out sick. He's going to have to show his stuff now.
Arguably the biggest 10 minutes of the season for Trinity so far. A real test of their character. The weather might be freezing, but it's really heating up here in College Park.
The lights are on and the pressure's on now for both sides.
Sheridan with a big hit there. 4 points in the game and Trinity down to 13 men. The scrum half puts it up in the air. Colin Hogan will try and get underneath this one. Unfortunately for Trinity, they have to put in at the scrum.
Just a little knock on there from Phillips in the air. Good contest between himself and Hogan.
I was going to ask you, Jack, who's your money on, but I think that's a silly question.
Always got to back my side, the UFC. This game really could go either way. I think it's going to be one more moment of brilliance or one more moment of ill discipline leading to a penalty that could secure it for either side.
What do you think the messages will be going onto the field now?
I think for both sides it'll be exit early. Don't play phases in your own half. It's not on now. It's definitely not on. If you give away a penalty, you really are putting the game, the result, into a lot of risk. And when you have ball inside the opposition's half, keep it. No silly offloads, no chip and chases, no Hail Marys. Keep it simple. Trust your structure.
And Trinity get a big free kick at the scrum.
McDonough calling for calm heads here. Interesting to see the decision. Hogan had to join the scrum there. Wouldn't be out of place with the size of the man. He'd be a flanker in another life, I'd say, with that kind of size. Trinity again going for the scrum. Interesting call.
Backing themselves at the set piece, which hasn't always gone to plan for them today. Big call, big moment.
Both wingers in at either side of flank. James Dillon, Colin Hogan, and the fullback, should I say.
Adam LeGroux has just got over for Taryn York to extend their lead. Sheridan. Gunn makes a few yards. Egan. Lovely flat pass. Here's Ronan Quinn. He works his way back infield. Vermeulen. Egan. Munster have managed to rip that one. With only 13 men, what can young Munster do here? Can they exploit the Trinity defence?
He won't pass! He won't pass!
Great cover D there from McCormick.
Trinity's defence doing quite well considering they're 2 men down. Huzak gets it to the substitute, Ronan O'Sullivan, that is. And here come young Munster really making yards now, getting into the 22. Could this be their time? But Trinity get in over that one, and a massive penalty here.
Belgian bruiser, Bart Vermeulen. What a turnover that was. Under immense pressure. Trinity really had to step up there, and it was the substitute prop, big turnover at ruck time. Linesman has his flag out. Interesting to see what the call will be here.
Oh, sorry.
Where else would you be on a Saturday, Jack?
Nothing like it, the AIL. Best rugby in the country, this. And we're really getting a show of it today. A mixture of hard, physical, brutal rugby and small pieces of skill, great deft touches from some of the backline players. Still a long way to go in this game yet, though.
Get the AIL on TV, I say.
Going back for something here. Interesting to see which team it goes for.
Trinity won't mind that. They'll say thank you very much.
Yeah, looks to be an off-the-ball tackle of sorts, picked up by the linesman, not seen by the referee. Probably 10-15 phases beforehand, so Trinity get marched right the way back up the field into young Munster's half. Water break at the moment going on. I think young Munster do need to calm down a bit here. A lot of back chat and talk to the referee. Not what we want to see at the highest level of rugby in the country.
The linesman actually had his flag out for quite some time before the referee called it back. He didn't have the luxury of being VAR and being able to talk in the referee's ear.
Yeah, not quite as much technology around here. Not to take away from Vermeulen's turnover at all. It may not have mattered in the grand scheme of things, but that was a huge moment for Trinity and himself.
Thanks again to our sponsors, AIB and BF Sports Analysis, who produce this great show.
Double whammy there for Trinity as well, with McCarthy coming back on, back up to 14 men for Trinity.
Maybe young Munster will rue this kind of last 10 minutes where they haven't been able to make full use of the 2-man advantage. And Trinity go to the maul. It's the substitute hooker who has it at the back. They're getting ever closer here. Look at that shove. The engine room's moving. Jones looking for his second. It's a great effort by the students. Byron. Hogan now. Munster defence stands strong. Sheridan is next in line to take it. But it's a big penalty for young Munster, and they'll want to get it going here, just get it up the field.
Young Gibbons there, the substitute in the number 21 jersey with that turnover. He was right over ball there, saw a little bit of a gap between the support players and the carrier, Hogan. And Trinity looked to be in a good position there, good carries. Young Henchy at the back of that maul carrying it well. And Gav Jones with a half break almost in there. He was fingertip tackles, you must say. A young Munster player down now, so we'll have a break in play here. Couldn't be much longer left in the game as we hit 4 o'clock here, hour and a half since kickoff started.
Well, who knows with the amount of stoppages that we've had.
It's gone on a bit too long now.
Pretty interview.
Word from Ronan Quinn here. It's been a tough game so far, according to the winger. Big night tonight now with the J1's game Friday. You know, the entire squad will be out. And next week, a double header against Terranure.
Very active.
Yeah.
Very active.
Come on, Trinity!
Hayes goes restart. He gets it into the corner. What a take! One of the crowd with the clean catch.
Get him out there.
The atmosphere. Real tension about this game. You could cut it with a knife. Young Munster roaring for another penalty. Referee doesn't think so. And the other yellow has entered. So we're now 15 on 15 again. Go quick or go to the corner.
It's always going to be a dummy there, you felt from the substitute. McCarthy with some huge defensive shots there. The high tackle penalty came. They'll go to the corner here. A try does win it for young Munster.
Nice and long. In a very good position for young Munster. Will it be late heartbreak for Trinity?
It'll take some defensive effort here from the pack. They really need to front up now. Back to their full contingent by the looks of things. So it's 8 on 8 at maul time here.
Dan Walsh. But a great steal at the line out. McCormack with the steal. He might have got a yellow card, but he's made up for it now. What a moment. And Egan with the massive boot.
Now that really is championship stuff there from Trinity. What a steal from Diarmuid McCormack at line-out time, right at the front. A lot of teams wouldn't risk it. They wouldn't go up to the front at line-out time in that position. Trinity risked it, got the steal, and Egan with an outrageous boot, finding them all the way up to halfway. What a gain for Trinity there. Big, big moments.
We were talking about it earlier, but it's one of those games where the leaders have to step out and they have to take control, and McCormack there and Egan as well with the boot, both making their mark and making sure that their team can get the win here today.
No, can't stress it enough for all the viewers at home. That is massive. That could be the changing of the game. Linesman again with some input now. This will be interesting here.
That's the only thing about the game that's probably been a negative. It's been littered with ill discipline.
The tension with the knife around the ground at the moment. The only noise really coming from the bear pit on the far side. All family spectators on this side, including us in commentary. Very, very nervous few moments ahead here.
Probably the most exciting game so far in College Park, or the tightest at least this season. What can young Munster do? What a game.
Next job will be the call from the Trinity players. They focus on the scrum. Penalty here puts young Munster right back in position. They need to hold this out, need to stay strong.
(29-24), Taryn Yor.
Go, Trey, let's go, Bart!
Taryn Yor about to go 7 from 7 so far. What can happen here? Lyons puts it in the scrum. But young Munster get the shove on and a massive penalty. Go to the corner again, Jack.
100% Vermeulen down to his knee there. The pressure was telling too much from the young Munster pack. They'll go down now deep into the 22, hoping for a very similar kick from winger Hayes. Can Trinity steal again? That's the question.
I think I'm going to have a lie down after this one.
Aren't we all?
Come on, Munster.
These are the make your or break your moments of a season for both sides. O'Connor. Young Munster go to the maul. Trinity dealing with it relatively well. But Dan Walsh still has. He puts it out though to Lyons. And he gives it to the winger. And Young Munster go in.
Phillips, what a score down the wing there on the blind side. The scrum half, so the scrum half found that gap, saw it, picked the right time to come out of the maul, put his winger away. Great finish. Munster take the lead by 1 point. Could that be the game?
Connor Phillips. He hasn't had many opportunities today, but when he finally got one, he took it. And he puts young Munster into the lead.
By the looks of the celebrations, I think the referee has told them that's time there.
Be a great drive back to Limerick for the young Munster lads. A tough one to take for Trinity. Just misses the kick, goes off the upright, and that's all here. 25-14. Back-to-back victories for young Munster. They keep pushing up on the table. Disappointing defeat for Trinity, but gave a very good account of themselves. It was a very entertaining, very physical game. Plenty of yellow cards, a lot of ill discipline, but a great watch, and nowhere I would have rather been today, to be honest.
That was an unbelievable finish. Very, very exciting stuff. Phenomenal composure shown from young Munster. A lot of people would have said last week, playing at home, that would have been the deciding factor for them beating Clontarf. But they've come up to College Park today and they've done the business, winning 25-24. If we were to look at man of the matches, I think it could only be one man from the young Munster side, Dan Walsh, the hooker. He was phenomenal all around the park all day long. Very dynamic, strong at line-out time, even in testing conditions. And didn't let the pressure tell at that final line-out. Great win for young Munster. Great game all round.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's been great as always. In 2 weeks' time, of course, Trinity play Cork Con. That'll be brought to you via stream as well. And from me, Kieran Noble, in the commentary box, that's all for now. Thanks for listening.